Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello student and welcome to the Hadits Tarbawi class. The subject for today's lesson is Aspirations and Goals in Education. The aspirations, goals, and hopes of every student need to be fostered in education from an early age so that students can be directed in their abilities, hobbies, and talents throughout their educational journey, which will be useful for achieving success in the future. Humans must have aspirations in order to have hopes for achieving success, because without them, humans will live without the spirit of learning or work ethic. A student should have high aspirations so that they can be motivated to become a great influential person. There are several hadiths which are related to this subject, but in this lesson, I will only talk about 4 of them. The first one is about the student's ambitions. Please look at this hadith. In this hadith, Rasulullah SAW said, which translated to, envy is not permissible except in 2 cases. First, towards a person whom Allah has bestowed wealth and he spent it in the way of Allah day and night. And the second, towards a person whom Allah has given memorization of the Quran and he recited it day and night. The hadith permits 2 forms of envy, or in Islam we call it ibtah. These are desiring what others have in terms of Quranic devotion and desiring what others have in terms of charitable wealth. Ibtah is wishing for a similar blessing, and like forbidden envy or hasad hakiki, which desires the loss of others' blessing. These 2 ibtah also represents desire for success in wealth and knowledge. Aspiring the financial success is acceptable if the goal is to spend wealth righteously, benefiting oneself, family fairly, and society for Allah's cause. Career ambitions should stem from a desire for social good. Similarly, desiring success in knowledge is encouraged when motivated by the intention to practice and teach goodness, improving oneself and others. Understanding the Quran inherently involves practicing and sharing its wisdom. Combining knowledge and the Quran leads to success in this life and the hereafter. The next one is about developing strength by learning. Look at this hadith. In this hadith, Rasulullah SAW said, which translated to, a strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than a weak believer, and in both there is good. Strive for what which benefits you and seek help from Allah in all your affairs, and do not feel helpless. If you are afflicted by anything, do not say, if only I had done such this, then such that would have happened. No, but rather say, Allah has decreed it, and He does whatever He wills. For saying if only opens the door to the deeds of Satan. The hadith says Allah loves strong believers more than the weak ones, where strength includes inner qualities like patience and resilience. However, both are good due to their faith, even if they have different level of them. The hadith also emphasize combining efforts with reliance on Allah or tawakal, balancing hard work with prayer, because effort without prayer is arrogance, while prayer without effort is futile. This balance as an act of worship, leading to earnest work and trusting Allah for success. Furthermore, the Hadith discourage regretful if only statement, as it seems as rejecting destiny, such as speculation weakens and stress us, hindering progress. Instead, we should accept Allah's decree, avoid despair, and continue striving with renewed spirit. The third one is about the success of knowledge. Please look at this hadith. In this hadith, Rasulullah SAW said, which translated to, "Know that indeed the world is cursed, and cursed is whatever is in it, except for the remembrance of Allah. Deeds that draw one closer to Allah, a knowledgeable person, or a student of knowledge." The hadith suggests that worldly luxuries can be a distraction from worship and often lead away from Allah, community, and good deeds, ultimately unsettling the heart and hindering happiness. However, Islam doesn't forbid seeking worldly things like wealth and knowledge. Instead, it guides us to pursue them righteously, with remembrance of Allah and His Prophet, by seeking lawful sustenance, acquiring beneficial knowledge, and sharing it. Therefore, wealth and knowledge combined can lead to remembering Allah and achieving happiness in both this life and the hereafter. Conversely, worldly pursuit without knowledge can become negative, drawing one way from Allah and His command. Now for the last one. It is about the merit of pursuing in education. Look at this hadith. In this hadith, Rasulullah SAW said, which translated to, "Whoever takes the path of seeking knowledge, Allah will make his path easier to get to heaven." The hadith means that anyone who sincerely strives to gain knowledge, whether religious or beneficial worldly knowledge, will find their path to paradise made easier by Allah. This comes through divine help, opportunities to learn, and increased understanding that guides them toward good deeds and righteousness. The act of seeking knowledge itself is pleasing to Allah, and He rewards this effort by facilitating their journey to eternal bliss. It's not just about learning facts, but a transformative process that connects knowledge with righteous living, ultimately earning Allah favor and a smoother path to paradise. From this hadith, it can be concluded that instilling clear aspirations and goals in students from an early age is very important, both in terms of material wealth and knowledge. In terms of material wealth, students are encouraged to have the desire to become successful so that they can use their wealth for social good. Meanwhile, in terms of knowledge, success should be based on the intention to practice and spread. Furthermore, the hadith also discuss the purpose of education in Islam, which is to become a strong believer inwardly and outwardly, to always strive and pray, and to accept Allah's decree with an open heart. This also explains that knowledge accompanied by practice will bring blessings in this world and the hereafter, as well as the virtues of knowledgeable people. And that's the end of these lessons. Thank you for your participation in these lessons. Sorry if there are some mistakes in my words earlier, and See you for the next lessons. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.